Should I keep my divorce a secret? Okay. But she has numbered her screenshots, so just keep that in mind when we get to the screenshots, okay?
Okay.
I recently started the divorce process for my husband of greater 5 years. Together for the crowd here at Feather Studios is touched. We got together when I was 18. So they've been together 9 plus years. We got together when I was 18 and haven't dated or been single since I was a teenager, pre-dating apps. I've started to tell my family and friends about the separation, so it feels more real to me. I don't feel like I quote unquote have to tell anyone, but keeping it all to myself all the time feels like living a double life and becomes impractical. Totally agree. It can't be comfortable. It's just not fun to. It's having to think about something else in every conversation. She should do whatever feels right, but I can understand that.
Throw a divorce party.
That'd be fun. I've told 2 male friends that I'm leaving my husband, both times related to me thinking about moving out of my apartment. I asked a newer friend / former coworker in my area if he knew anyone looking for a roommate or tenant. Shortly after, he said he was in the neighborhood. I said he could stop by to say hello. It quickly became apparent that this was more than like a date or a booty call than a friendly pass by. Wow. I at least appreciated that he looked me in the eye and was direct about what he was hoping for, quote unquote, sex, fun, travel with someone he vibes with, and scoping out if I could be that person. At the time, though, could he maybe have chill for 5 seconds? Yeah, this is, I mean, that is wild. You're like, hey, I'm getting divorced. I'll be at the house in 5 minutes. Like, what?
Oh my God.
My husband's side of the bed isn't even cold yet, she writes. Yeah. Anyways, I said I wasn't interested, and he was relatively respectful about it. He left me with the parting words, I would turn you upside down, girl. Oh, my God. She wrote, LOL, what? And I haven't talked since. On a separate note, I got the impression that he thought I was some sexually repressed housewife about to go absolutely apeshit with my newfound freedom. So let me know if this is some sort of fetish I should prepare myself for. Do you find any truth in that, Karen? Like that would be an assumption? I guess I could understand. I don't know if I understand showing up at someone's house. Oh, I'll be over in 5, right?
Yeah. I mean, if people who know her and she has been in this relationship for 9 years, like there may have been some guys like waiting in the wings for a while that see her that way.
Yeah, totally. I think the idea, here's the other thing. Everyone assumes after a relationship someone's looking for casual because they're not ready yet. Right. So this is like kind of, in a way, this is a little bit vultures coming over to the carcass of and that's an icky thing to think about, but it is kind of what he's doing when he says, I'm looking for someone to vibe with and have fun with, and you seem like in a place for fun. He's kind of taking advantage of where you are in life, which is not a great thing.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll be right
Seems
there.
kind of shitty. The second guy I mentioned my separation to was an old friend from middle school and high school. We've been in touch lightly over the years. I never thought there was anything romantic between us. In fact, I remember asking... I mean, yeah, he did. I remember asking him to go to homecoming with me as friends, and he shot me down. Too cool for it, LOL. Anyways, see messages attached. So let's see the messages attached. So let me just first, before we get to these messages, when she says she's lightly been in touch with someone from high school, to me that's someone that's like messaged you on Facebook. And if someone's messaged you on Facebook from high school, you have to assume they're doing it for kind of wrong and reasons, right?
Yeah, I don't stay in touch with anyone. There's one guy who keeps reaching out to me from high school who like wants to fuck, but other than that,
well, exactly. That's the only,
that's the only one. Yeah.
So let's go to number 1. Do you remember a time in 2011, specifically October 27th, that we went out to eat together? Oh, okay. Wrote it down in my journal, but no other details. I have no memory of it all, and hopefully I haven't insulted you. My memory is hot garbage.
We went to the blank grocery and got sandwiches and then ate them outside the half-built house my parents were building.
Amazing. I do vaguely remember that, but misremembered it as high school era. So I'm getting a divorce. Please let me...
Cool transition.
Yeah. Please let me blow past that. And contemplating temporarily moving back to blank. Since my
Putting
job is
divorce and blow in the same text, I don't know. Now I think she is asking for it.
she does seem very innocent in these things. Since my job is remote, before I figure out where to go next, I never imagine going back home. So as someone who's been there, is that the dumbest idea you've ever heard, or would it be okay?
I prefer blank over any other city in Louisiana. I'm actually looking at moving back to blank myself within the next few months. Sorry to hear about the divorce.
Okay. I'll keep thinking about it then. I'm 100% behind you moving to blank. And thanks. It's a bummer now, but it'll be fine. Hold on. Number 4. Okay. So number 4 is in the beginning.
Okay. Sorry. That's 2. 4. Why the blank area? Family? And now that I think of it, we went to a small deli.
Now he's having... Oh, now I remember. Now that I know that you're single.
Off blank and blank that day. We would have gotten blank grocery around January or February 11th. Okay, detective. The deli isn't there anymore, and I've forgotten the name of it, but I remember it now.
Okay, she remembers the name, but she blanked it out.
Yes, haha.
I loved that place, and I'm still angry it closed. And yes, being close to family and things are a bit cheaper are 2 main factors.
Going to blank is a getaway these days for me, but I promise it'll seem a lot better than you remember. We'll have to catch up one day when we can.
Definitely. If you ever make your way to Nashville, let me know while I'm here at least. I'm sure blank is fine. I think I just got it in my head that I'm going home would mean I failed or resigned, which, first of all, isn't accurate. But also, at least it means you tried something.
Is it bad that I drank a lot last night and almost sent a picture? As in, took the picture, attached it, but never sent it.
Haha, it depends on the photo.
Sounds like I did well in not sending it then. Haha. So are you living in blank or blank now, or do you have any date set for going to other city?
Just living in blank for now, I guess. I have some details to figure out, like if I can temporarily stay at my mom's rental property, and if I would screw myself by moving away after filing for divorce in blank. Also have to give 60 days notice to my apartment, which is excessive, but shruggy face.
Honestly, it doesn't sound like it's too bad of a situation. Cute emoji, by the way.
I mean, this is the vulture.
Yeah.
Flapping around. He just told you your emoji looked hot. I mean, this is, the cartoon version of you is really sexy. Holy shit.
I can get it.
It's not terrible, just a bit of a bummer is all. At least I'd be close to my dad so I could make him show me basic maintenance skills. Now we'll go to 8. Thanks, I think the emoji's pretty accurate. Then she sends a picture of herself. I mean, close enough.
Haha, I can see it. And basic maintenance skills. Looking at a new auto mechanic career? FYI, I had to stop myself from drunkenly texting you last night.
Listen, I've spent like 20 minutes trying to respond to this, and I want to kill myself for that, so I don't want to be a jackass, but please be direct or don't send me cryptic messages. I beg you. So she's just like, cut the shit. What are you getting at? Yeah.
This is so now we go to 10? Yeah.
Now 10.
This is what I had skipped before. I'm sorry.
Okay.
A dick pic, a picture of my penis, a photo of my cock. I don't know why. I really don't.
I mean, he didn't really beat around the bush. I mean, my God. She writes, dudes are really out here sending random dick pics. Jeez.
See, obviously, I'm not sending them, but we don't have to talk about that anymore. I'm sorry. Oh, backpedal.
Oh, yeah, he's running backwards. Then why even bring it up? What's the reason?
I'm not sure. Suppressed feelings after you mentioned your pending divorce? Ding, ding, ding. I honestly don't know why. I thought about those things or even mentioned them to you. You do know why. You just said it.
Yeah, this is it's wild. Like, listen, anyone could look at this, and that's the end of the text exchange, but anyone could look at this and go, it's gross. Oh, my God. These people are... Let's live in the reality, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, this guy's a douche, and he's angling at something. He's trying to be the good guy while also saying, I also do some bad things.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm not blaming her, but she has to be a little bit more cynical of the men that are coming back into her life and spending time texting with her when she's like, I'm out of a divorce and I haven't seen you since high school, but hey, I was journaling the other day. Where'd we get sandwiches when we were 16? Like,
yeah, she's throwing it out there. I think.
Do you think so? I don't know if she's throwing it. I think she just doesn't know that, like I think like these aren't your friends is kind of like the thing. Like these are
what I'm getting. Like, where is she texting her girlfriends though after the divorce? Because if she's just been like, hey, let me see what all my platonic male friends are up to, it's kind of like she might want some attention. Of
course, and also she's saying she's not telling everybody, so maybe she's not telling close friends. So these people are the easiest ones to confide in because they don't really matter to her. But when you confide, it's like confiding in like in a hole in the side of the bathroom, and you're like, wait a minute, there's a penis behind that hole? Yeah, this is a right. This is where dicks get sucked.
It's a pretty safe bet for a place for her to go. Like, who's not going to judge me? Who might even actually be happy that I'm getting a divorce?
Yeah, it's a protection in a way that's a little bit different. But when you think about it, you go, oh, I get it. She writes, looking back, I can see how some of my responses could be read as flirting or entertaining him, though completely unintentional, or that I should have stopped responding earlier. Listen, I get it. I don't think she should blame herself, but like it's one of those things you go, after the fact, you go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm bananas in saying my responses were a far cry from appearing open to receiving dick pics. Yeah, I don't think you're bananas, but I also think you're talking to the vulture. Like it's a man who's single, who's making himself available to you. From high school? I don't know. I'm not giving.
And you've been a kept woman for 9 years. You're like the girl in the tower in the fortress, with like who's nobody's been able to touch for X amount of years, and now
And I don't want to sound like I'm apologizing for him because I think he's being an asshole, but there is an element of like, he's like, why is she getting in touch with me after a divorce? Like now she's texting more after the divorce.
Yeah.
She writes, too, I have enough on my plate that I'm not willing to do free emotional labor to figure out what some dude is hinting at or what they want, which leads me to number 3. This guy could barely articulate why it crossed his mind while he was drunk or why he was soberly dropping hints to me about sending dick pics. Didn't stop him from dropping those hints, though. As some men just on autopilot? Is this how men interact with women now, even ones they didn't just meet on a dating app? Like, what were you doing? I know your mom. My girlfriend recommended ghosting. I expect that I'm naive about how the world and relationships work between single people in 2021. Fair enough. But it's a bummer to think you're having a benign conversation with a buddy. Well, he's not your buddy. That's my one big feedback. Meanwhile, they're thinking about you choking them out with your own panties. Okay, well, she took some creative liberty there. Can men and women really just be friends? I'm 2 for 2 on sharing about my pending divorce with men. Is this lesson to keep it a secret from my male quote-unquote friends until I'm ready for a bunch of dicks to fly in my face, or maybe for forever, or at least until I meet someone else? They've so far taken it as an invitation rather than as me, a person sharing a fact about my turning point in the road for me, and maybe that's on me for not realizing where people my age are at life. Anyway, signing off. Your podcast has been so insightful in the current world of dating and relationships for a total noob. So, Karen, what do we think here?
I think she has to be clear. Why are you letting these guys know about that your marriage has ended? Like, be really honest with yourself what your intentions are. Because if you are just looking for like a friendly conversation, be like, hey man, this happened. I'm thinking about dating again. Do you know other people I can date? That's clear that it's not him you're interested in.
Sure.
But I think you have to be honest with yourself about, are you looking for some attention? And I don't fault you for that. But I don't know.
She has to be. So she says, I recently been single. I told 2 male friends that I'm leaving my husband. Both. So one, I asked a new. So let me go over who she's considering her male friends.
Yeah.
And this is important to it because they don't sound like friends to me. So it's one thing if you go to your close girlfriends or you go to your close male friends that you've known for, or you go to like, the husband of your close friend. Like, I think to me, you went to, she goes, a newer friend / former coworker. So now newer friend, former coworker. So not even work is in the way of him making a pass at you. So then he shows up at your house. It's crazy, which is crazy.
That is
and
crazy.
then the other is the second guy I mentioned, old friend from middle school and high school. It is not middle school and high school anymore. You said you've been with your person for 9 years, and that was 18. So you are legitimately a decade away from those relationships. So
holding the thought of somebody in your brain for that long is something.
Yeah, and listen, I'm not and she says, like, why would he hint at the dick pic? He's trying to figure out what you're here for.
Yeah.
In his mind, and I keep saying I'm not apologizing to these people, but I do kind of. If someone from 10 years ago all of a sudden is messaging me, and it is someone, and then tells me I'm going through a divorce and I just thought of you.
Right. It's romantic. You can't help it.
It is romantic.
Something romantic about it.
And the way he's going about a romantic situation isn't good. I mean, he has missed, but he's letting you know what he wants. And what he wants is to hook up, and his way of finding that out is through the worst way possible.
Really
But I would say, as sad as this sounds, none of this is surprising.
Yeah.
And if it's not surprising to us, then we have to say, like, it's like, a deer saying they got bit by a lion.
Right.
Like, I don't want the deer to get bit by a lion. I don't think it should. I want it to live a long life. But nature is. So I think she has to realize and again, when you get out of at changes in life, you realize who your real friends are. Mm-hmm. These aren't your real friends, is really my response to her. And I do think you do have real friends that you should be leaning on.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like the video you just watched. I have many more. Subscribe to the channel right now. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe, you fool! There's even a bell you can click to. Now you've got your week set Monday through Friday.